Quick heads up before you watch this interview. Unfortunately, due to a technical issue with the recording software, I lost the last 10-ish minutes of the audio. The conversation still comes to a somewhat understandable end, but there were a couple of things, including us talking about up-and-coming big cubers, switching mains shortly before a big competition, and my ending question, what aspect of cubing gives you the latest joy, that are not included in this interview. Emmanuel, if you're watching, I'm very sorry about the technical mix-up, but to the rest of my viewers, I still hope that this is an enjoyable conversation. Well, I guess as a quick intro for who you are currently top 10 for 5x5 up to 7x7, and you have just a beautiful turning style. Like if you watch any of your videos, it's just the most fluid, smooth turning like of anyone in the top 20. So I was excited when you were like, hey, I'd be down to come on because I love watching you solve. I just kind of wanted to talk big cube stuff. Like, I don't have a super specific agenda, but like, how long have you been cubing for, first off?
So, I started cubing in about 2018, 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was just a cube laying around the house, like many other cubers, right? And
Sure.
I just brought it along when my family was going out. Then, yeah, it was a Pyraminx, by the way. It wasn't a 3x3.
Nice.
For some reason, it was a Pyraminx. So I started playing with it. And yeah, that's how I started. I was able to solve it for some reason. Then I realized, oh, this is kind of fun. Then, yeah, that's how I started cubing.
Cool. Mm-hmm. And when did you narrow in on big cubes? Like, obviously, you're very fast at 3x3, but big cubes are the specialty.
Oh, yeah. I started like learning how to solve them maybe during COVID, like lockdown. So 2020, 2021, but I only really got good in about 2022. Yeah. So at the tail end of the year 2022, I got a 224 7x7 single, which was like, I mean, that was pretty good for me at the time. Yeah.
Right.
Then where I really, really got good was in the third quarter of 2023. Yeah. That's when I got my first national records.
Nice. What country? That's a really bad question we'd have to ask, but I want to make sure.
Oh, Singapore.
Singapore. Okay.
Yeah.
Who else is fast in Singapore?
In big cubes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you know Carmen Teo?
No.
Oh, so she's the female Asian record holder, I think, for 7x7. And apart from being really fast, she's just a very good mentor for me. So
cool.
She helps me clear up some of my solving styles. Like she's a bit of an older cuber, so she does have much more experience than me. And
yes,
like as I was getting fast, she kind of was the person who I looked to for advice or how I should think about competition and solve, visual solve specifically. Yeah. And also, there's one guy who doesn't really compete anymore because he just comes for nationals, then he doesn't compete for the rest of the year. He's Daryl Tan. Yeah.
Daryl Tan. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at both of their profiles. What were some of the things that she taught you that helped you improve?
Oh, a lot of it is like cues before official solve. So it's like turn a bit slower here, turn a bit slower here. Because as I was getting fast, like the best part of my solving, or like the most not normal part of my solving, was the fact that I could turn really good. Like I could turn very, very quickly. So as I was getting fast, I was kind of doing that. Then she would say, oh, you are like, let's say I was on the third solve of a potential NR mean or potential NR average for 5x5. Then she would say like don't turn so fast here. Whenever you turn fast here, like you tend to get worse and you get nervous. So I took that advice. Like I really, really like learning from her because whenever she gives advice, I have like instant results. It's like
Hmm.
whenever she says something, I instantly get better at the thing she says I'm bad at. Yeah. So another thing
That's
is
really cool.
just efficiency on centers and sometimes edges, but mostly centers, because I always had this philosophy that centers is just a spamming step. But after seeing some of her solutions, I'm like sometimes now, I think I was talking to her about a week or two ago, and some of the stuff she showed me was very impressive. And I was like, whoa, I didn't know you could do that. Not that I didn't know, but like it just didn't cross my mind at that point in time, because I
Sure.
sent her some like official solves and, not official, like practice solves. And she was like, oh, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do? I was like, oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So with your, I'm assuming this is 6x6 or 7x7, because like 5x5 center efficiency kind of is
Oh,
limited.
yeah.
Um, so on a 6x6 solve, let's start with 6. What percentage of the time are you solving one by 4 block at a time versus doing some sort of block building solution, do you think?
Mm. Oh, so you
And
mean
is
like block building? You mean
so
like building a 2x2 or?
building 2x2s, 2x4s, that sort of thing? Or is
Hmm.
the efficiency that you're talking about mostly around doing 1x4 blocks one at a time better?
There's some cases where she'll give me good tips for building blocks. And I think it's a 50-50 split, because, I mean, there's not much you can do for bars, I think. But for blocks, it's like much more interesting, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
how often do you bias toward those more complex solutions?
for now, I'm not really doing much complex things. A lot of the more efficient things I'm doing is just cancellations into next steps. So like
Mm,
R2 primes versus R2s, that type of thing. So instead of doing an R and an R, I'll just do a R2 straight away. Then
yes.
like into the next step, if I already know what I'm going to be doing, which is most of the time, then I'll just cancel into that. And I would say, yeah, so for now, I'm not really leaning into complex, efficient stuff. I'm just doing simple, sometimes block building if it's really easy, but most of the time it's actually bars. I would say I also use
Okay.
the T way of forming bars.
Yes.
Like you would, yeah.
Yes.
So I would say that's very helpful. So yeah, but especially on last two centers, I do more blocks on last two centers. More like I form 2 bars at once. So you could count it as a 2x4, you could count it as 2 bars,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how you look at it. Yeah. But most of the time I try
Yes.
to form
That
2 6x6 bars. Yeah. 2 center bars for last two centers.
Yes. Yeah. That was a thing that Mark Zimmerman told me, was whenever you're doing 6x6 last two centers, your default should be doing a 2x4 and a 2x4 instead
Oh,
of
yeah.
going 1 bar at a time. Like, assume that is the best thing to do unless
Yeah.
some crazy exception case. And that has definitely probably shaved a couple seconds off my solves. Cool.
I,
So you learn from Carmen. Where else do you
yeah.
learn efficiency or the different ways that you solve?
Oh, I, I never really interacted with this person like in real life, like face to face, but obviously Kevin Hayes.
Mhm.
I mean, I saw him once at Worlds, but
Yes.
I learned a lot from his Tuesday tips. Like just, oh, I actually learned forming the 2x4 bar for 6x6. I learned it from one of his Tuesday tips videos. Yeah.
Yes.
Then a lot of like competition mentality, all sorts of things I learned from Kevin Hayes. Mm, but most of it, I mean, as you've said in your own videos, it just comes down to doing lots of solves and getting more used to the cube.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
What do you
doing
what do
more
you
solves
typically
is
do
really what
for
got me better.
oh, I'm
Oh, I'm
go
done. I'm
ahead.
done.
You're good. You're good. There was a lag.
Oh, yeah. I finished what I wanted to say.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes.
What do you typically do for last four edges on 6x6? Do you just
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
freestyle it? Do you solve the inners and then you go to the outers? Is it case by case? And then how do you do parodies and last two edges? Do you save the yellow edge for the end? Do you have certain L2E algs that you know? Like, what's your process from beginning to end of L4E?
Okay. So for L4E in general, I I try to do one edge at a time. So I finish
Hmm.
one entire edge. But sometimes I'll do the inner 4x4, just depending on the case. Yeah. So like if I realize that a lot of edges, like it's very complicated to solve one individual edge, I'll just solve the inner 4x4.
Got it.
And I'll do some slice with slice or some L2E elks, stuff like that. So for last
Okay.
two edges, I think I use the standard elks for last two edges. I do know some like inner layer elks for 6 and 7.
Okay.
Let me just pull one up.
So if you had this, where you have these two edges and there's one
Oh yeah.
piece in each edge, this is a parity case. Do you do an alg for this?
Oh
Or do you?
I don't know this elk, so I flip
Okay,
the one on the right. I'll flip the one on the right, then I'll do the
got it.
elk that I know.
Okay, and then you just reduce into parity. Cool.
Yeah. But you also asked about leaving the yellow edge to the end, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Recently I've been trying to do that just to reduce parity because I just don't want triple parity. So
Hmm.
I've been trying to do that more, but sometimes I still forget or I try to take advantage of the easier cases and I don't like if a yellow is an easy case, I forget to leave it to the end because I get tempted to do it.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's funny. Like when I first learned about some of those things, I was like, oh, I got to learn like 8 new 6x6 specific algs and do this
yeah,
flowchart. But essentially, every top solver I've talked to, except Ethan Cho, doesn't do any of the algs, like specific algs for 6x6 L2E. I know Ethan does. I think Kate Graham might, and I think Mark Zimmerman might. But everybody else just like does what you just said, where it's like slice with slice, go into parity, sometimes preserve the yellow edge so that
yeah.
until OLL, but that's it.
I think a lot of it comes down to what you prioritize in your practice because the people you just mentioned, especially Mark and Ethan, they're much more efficiency based. But for other top cubers who are like who have a different practice, like like they prioritize different things in practice, which is just doing more
Yes.
solves, like Do Kwam, I think, Lim Hang maybe. I mean, I've interacted with them more because they are from around the region of
Yes.
where I'm at. Yeah, so when I look at the way they solve, I don't really see much complex things. It's just similar to what I do. So in a sense, you could say, like, circling back to our previous question, I think I did learn a lot from those cubers as well. Especially Lim Hum. Like when you watch his turning, it's such an interesting way of turning the cube. Especially
Yeah.
a few years ago I was like, whoa, like how can you do that? And like the cube just doesn't explode.
Yes.
Yeah, like I've tried his cubes multiple times at competitions just because we go to a lot of the same competitions.
Hmm.
Yeah. And like when I tried it, I was like, how do you like turn this? Like, are your hands not dying by the second solve of the meat?
Are they really slow?
Oh yeah, they're pretty slow. Or at least when I tried them a few months ago, they were pretty slow. But I'm not sure if they've gotten better. Yeah, it's
Okay.
just like I used to use that type of cubes because I used to be much more like TPS spam, just go type of cuber. But recently I've shifted away from that and I've been trying to do more like relax style, which is the style that you've seen from me, I assume.
Yeah. Everything in your YouTube doesn't look like a TPS spammer at all. It looks
Oh yeah.
extremely fluid and controlled.
Oh, like if you go to my YouTube, like if you scroll all the way, it shouldn't be that many videos, but I think the earlier videos, or I might have taken them down, I'm not sure. But the earlier videos were really, really spammy. So that just makes it such that, like, when I get good times, it's really, really good. Because when I can see everything, it's like, look at here's not a problem. But then when I can't see anything, it's
Right.
like the solve is cooked. So the standard deviation is really high.
Yes.
So it was after Worlds 2025 where I realized like this is not the way I want to solve in the future. Because I didn't do that well at Worlds. Then I did some reflection after the comp. Then it was like, I basically realized like this is not the way to go. And like if I want to do well at majors, I have to change it up. Like massively, I need to change it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I kind of got off topic there. What were we talking about?
Oh, you're fine. This is great. So how do you think about efficiency with edge pairing? You said you like to solve for L4, you do one edge at a time. There's degrees of efficiency things that make your look ahead more difficult with big cube edge pairing. There's doing
Yes.
inserts into back slots instead of just doing, right hand, left hand front inserts. There's like canceling insertions so that the way that you insert all the pieces for a 7x7 edge, you can slice all of them together at once.
Yeah.
And there's a few other things that you can do, but it requires a lot more like mental computation before you actually do the moves. What sort of efficiency tricks do you do for edge pairing beyond just kind of like insert an edge, slice, insert another edge, slice back?
Oh, I understand. Are we counting back inserts using the right hand?
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's the most common one that I use. I tend
Okay.
to stay away from using the left hand to turn just because it's less ergonomic.
Sure.
So I really don't use the left hand that much. Apart maybe in select cases where I think it's necessary, but most of the time it's right inserts into the back. Then I try to use like 3 F2L slots maximum to pair the edges. I don't think I ever use 4. So I just use 3 and then I'll sort of like bring it all to one slot. Like bring all of them to one slot. Then if the last one's at the top, I'll insert it. If it's at the bottom, I'll flip it. Yeah. Depending on the case, I'll decide which one to flip based on rotations. I don't really do that much fancy things. It's just more ergonomic turning and just making sure that the solve doesn't like become choppy. Because I think like when I solve choppy, like the times really suffer from personal experience.
Using only 3 slots is actually super smart because you still get the advantage of back inserts, but you always know like if I have to flip an edge or I have to insert, like it removes so much decision making. And you're right, it'd be so much more ergonomic and easy. I think I might experiment with that after Westerns. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
How much do you practice? Daily, weekly? How much does it fluctuate from day to day?
So
and like how regimented or just kind of go with the flow are you?
We're talking about specifically practice at home, right?
Practice period.
Oh, I would say it fluctuates quite a bit now because I have school. So I'm in, you guys call it high school. I'm 17 now. Like this year I'm 17, high school. Yeah. So I'm in high school. So obviously it's a bit more busy than during lockdown when I was in middle school. Yeah. So honestly, on the weekdays, I can go like 3 days without practicing at all. Apart from just occasional like ZB drilling. So like ZBL elks. I found them to be somewhat helpful on 5 and 7. 6 and 4 is like, it's a bit of a gamble because you have to think about whether it's parity or not. But I would say on 5 and 7 is really good. So on the weekdays, as low as like 0, as high as like 2 hours maybe. On the weekends, if I'm free, I could just go the whole day cubing. It's like 8 hours maybe.
Okay, so like let's take a Saturday then, where you wake up and you get ready, you eat, and then you sit down for cubing. How do your times look over the course of the day? Like when do they get the fastest? How do they fatigue or slow down? Or is it kind of flat?
I haven't really monitored that, to be honest. Like, I haven't really examined that. I just kind of solve, and then it's like, oh, I'm getting worse. Then when I get worse, it's like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm calling it a day. Usually that happens at about 6 p.m. But I don't go the whole day practicing. It's like
right.
I practice for 2 hours, maybe scroll on TikTok for a while, and 2 hours back, and maybe go out or go for a walk. Yeah. Mm. Then I would, if I had to guess, it would be right after lunch. So maybe like 1 or 2. For some reason, okay, maybe not 1 or 2, maybe like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. For some reason, I just found that to be pretty good for me.
Hmm.
I think it's because I'm like fully warmed up, but I'm not like so drained that my hands
Yes.
just cover. It's like a good sweet spot in the middle.
That's incredible mental endurance, though, that you can go for a whole day. I find that after 2.5 to 3 hours of focus cubing, I'm just kind of done for the day. If I pick it back up that night, it's a problem. And if I go beyond 2.5 focused hours in a day, my performance suffers for the next couple of days. I kind of burnt my brain out.
Mm.
But like I'm very different from you. Like I was talking to Henry Lickner and he was like, "Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
cube like 45 minutes or an hour and then
Mm.
that's like and then my brain's tired and I just stop for the day." So it's interesting hearing different ways people approach it.
I think it's very, very preference based.
Hmm.
I mean, not so preference, but just what you can tolerate. But
Yes.
a small caveat to my long practice hours is that, like, as I'm solving, I'll like listen to podcasts or YouTube videos. So like, there've been a few practice sessions where I've listened to you or like other cubers talk. So I wouldn't say it's completely focused. It's more of like, oh, just like solve and like listen. So like, I use half my brain to listen to the videos, and I
Yeah.
use like half my brain to solve. But then
Yeah.
it's still, I still get decent time. So it's like, okay.
Hmm.
Mm, yeah. Honestly, I think the YouTube video thing is like one of the things that made me be able to solve officially so well. In competition, like a lot of my records were like overall PB.
Hmm.
It's like, I mean, I've had this since like 2023 or 2022, where it's like whenever I got good big cube times, it's like, oh, it's like PB or something. And I think that's because at home I'm not focused. So my perception of speed is like I'm slower at home compared to what I actually average if I were to sit down and do a proper like locked in session.
Yes.
Yeah. And also like I care about doing well. I care about it so much that like I put a lot of brain power into solving officially. So like I'm completely locked in most of the time. And
Yeah.
like basically by the end of the day, I'm drained, like completely drained. And my brain is like
Yes.
I can't really like think properly or stuff. Yeah. So like I'm a bit dizzy and yeah. It's like I can just tell like my brain was exhausted for the day.
Yeah, that makes sense. How has it been at majors after the multi-day comps? Because if you're the
Yes.
type to burn yourself out at the end of one day, what was your experience with others?
Okay. So Asians 2024 was like, that was my first major, like first real major, not nationals.
Hmm.
So I, I was a staff, like I registered to be a staff. So like help out and judge and stuff. But then
Yes.
I realized that that just completely killed my ability to solve. Like I was always going at the end of the group and I was like, I wonder why other top solvers aren't doing this. Until I realized like, oh, this is just horrendous. Like as a top solver, like be like, I'm not saying not to help out when asked, but like,
Yes.
it's like at majors, as a top cuber, your main priority is to do well. So
Right.
anything that takes away from that ability is just, don't even consider it. But at that point, I wasn't that good yet. So I was just like, I'll just try. But then after day two, I was like, after day two or day three, I was just very, very tired. So like competing was like, it was pretty hard lah, basically. Um, At Worlds, it was slightly different because I didn't staff. But what happened was that I just over practiced, and like I'm not coping when I say like my hardware wasn't that good. Like it genuinely was not that good. So I just wasn't able to work with the cube, if you understand what I'm saying.
I know
Like,
what you mean. Where you put
yeah, like,
you lube the cube like a month out, you grind super hard, you're afraid to change it like the 2 days before, and then you're just frustrated. Like you feel like you're fighting with it the day that you finally care about performing.
oh yeah. So like I kept the same setup. I didn't bother trying to change anything about the setup. Like my hardware at Worlds wasn't, I mean, my 7 was okay. My 5 was, my 5 was all right. My 6 was like not that good. So by the time 6 finals came around, like I remember the morning of 6 finals, I was cleaning out the cube. And then I was like I kind of knew this wasn't going to go well. And like, yeah, but I tried to keep myself calm, and I mean, it still didn't work. So yeah. Another multi-day comp I went to was Melbourne Summer. I went to Melbourne Summer this year at the start of the year in like January. Mm, that one was
Cool.
that was one of the most significant cases of me just over practicing. It was like at the comp, I didn't really have much to do. You just like, you queue with people who you don't interact with much. Because
Yes.
I'm not based in the region. So when I went there, it's like, oh, I wanted to hang out with the people who I never saw since Worlds. Yeah. Because I do have a few friends who I meet at Worlds who were at Melbourne Summer. So hang out with them. I just kind of like kept cubing, and like, that's how you bond with cubers, right?
Yeah.
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 So by day 2, yeah. So after day 1, I was just like killed. Like my ability to think and turn was a bit dead. Then the last 2 days, I was just dragging myself to comp. Not really dragging, but like I could tell my
Yeah.
performance wasn't going to be good. Yeah. So you can really see like there's a big difference between my times at Melbourne Summer and the times around the comp. So like my competitions before and after, they're like, I'm pretty sure the times are different. Yeah. Like
Okay.
I was faster at the comps adjacent to it just because I'm not so burnt out. Yeah.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
It's my first time doing a multi-day competition starting tomorrow, and it's 3 days. And I have, like, I think I can make finals for 5 through 7.
Yeah.
But that's really good to know, like, be thinking about. Like, don't practice too much so that your
Yes.
brain gets burnt out. Interact with people, keep the variety so
Yeah.
that you preserve it for the whole thing.
Yeah. So I have this thing where like after comps, I'll reflect on the comp, especially like major competitions. So I did one for Melbourne Summer. I did one for Singapore Championships this year. And it was just like, what went well, what didn't go well, what can I do to improve? And then what do I want to know or have done before like a certain time, just as I deem necessary. So it may be like learn 4x4 last 2 edges elks, or like 6x6 cases for centers or stuff like that. And I'll say like
Right.
learn at least 4 before June or before this particular comp. Yeah. So apart from solving, is a lot of my reflection actually is mentality, and also just like how to do well in comp in general. Because I'm pretty sure I have the necessary skill sets to get good times in competition, but it's like I need to make sure that it's locked in, because sometimes I get a bit nervous, even though I compete well sometimes. Like I still get instances where like my hands are shaking in competition, or I just can't really turn that well. Yeah.
Well, it still like speaks that you're able to compete well if your overall PBing in comp
Oh
and you
yeah.
don't feel like you're always behind, which is kind of a nice place to be. Like, it makes you look forward to competing and not dread it.
Oh yeah. I have a competition tomorrow, and the last like 3 or 4 days I've been thinking about the comp. It's like I'm just so excited to compete, because I don't know what I'll get. Like I really don't know what I'll get, because
Hmm.
the competition where I got my ASR mean for 7, it was like when I say completely unexpected, I really mean completely unexpected. Because I was averaging like maybe 150, 153 at home. So when I got like the 141 was overall PB as well. And like
Wow.
I don't know what happened. It was just like I could turn the cube completely like flawlessly, essentially.
Yeah, that is wild that you were 12 seconds faster than your at-home global.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, there are instances like that where I can compete well, but I do struggle a bit at majors, especially, or just finals in general. This year's Singapore Champs finals, I found it not so bad. Like I was able to do pretty well because of my change in style, like I told you about.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's also like, I don't think you have enough data to definitively say that you do bad in finals. You have like 2 major finals under your belt. So, I mean, maybe you could say you do bad in finals if you've done like 5 and they all went poorly, but you're just like learning what to expect so that when the nerves hit next time or when the hands start to shake or when you have to remind yourself, you know that it's coming and it's more in the routine.
Yeah.
Cool. Why do you use Yao? Or I'm just double checking. I've seen you use Yao in 6, seen you use Yao in 5, you use Yao in 7, right? Yeah. Why is that? Did you just learn that during COVID and you stuck with it? Do you still believe that that's like the best method for you?
Okay, so I learned from, I'm pretty sure the first tutorial for 5, 6, and 7 I watched was Z3 cubing, I think. You know, Z3 cubing? Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he used Redux. So I just watched along. I didn't really know that Yao was a thing back then. It was like 2020. I was just like learning during lockdown, just watching videos. But then eventually I started watching JPerm, like JPerm's 5x5. Then I realized like, oh, Yao's a thing. Like I can solve my cross edges first.
Yeah.
Then I just started doing it. And what I realized for Redux is that the standard deviation is much higher than Yao for me. But that may just be because I don't know many advanced Redux tricks. So like I always do like Z2 rotations for edges. And I don't know whether that's optimal, but I never bothered to like really pursue Redux. It was just like a thing where like, oh, I started doing it. I'm going to switch to Yao now. And then the reason was pretty much just better consistency. And also like you're able to hit a flow better in Yao. I find it's easier to get into the zone, and because everything is so systematic, like you already know what you're going to do.
Right.
Pretty much. It's just cross edge, followed by false centers. Then your elastic edges is much easier compared to your 12 edges on Redux, right? Because Redux is like, it's really like, it's just a lucky draw, essentially. It's like if everything's on top, that's good. But like if you have one on top, one below, one on top, one below, it's like, I would think that's very, very unlucky and probably leads to much worse times. But it's a very real scenario. So I think that's what I considered before switching. It's like, do I want to deal with that case officially when I know I'm on good pace?
Right.
And I was like, no, I don't want to do this. And I just don't enjoy solving Redux. But I do understand the argument behind it, which is center efficiency, right? And yeah, center efficiency, that's the main argument, right? But for Yao, the main argument is look ahead. So I think I prioritize look ahead in general. Yeah, so that's why I use Yao.
That makes total sense. I mean, I think you're the first person who didn't just say, I think it's more fun. You were like, well, honestly, like, I think the standard deviation makes it such that I would rather have this downside in a competitive setting. Like, I would rather have slightly lower efficiency as a trade-off for greater consistency overall. I buy that argument.
Yeah.
That's approximately why I think I'm committed to Yao, is because, like you said, there are way less times where you just randomly can't figure something out.
Yeah.
Even though there are less opportunities to be crazy efficient, it ends up being a much more consistent solve where you can get in a flow state. And the flow over the entire minute and a half of a 6x6 solve or 2.5 minutes of a 7x7 solve, it ends up being more important than marginal gains of efficiency.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's a very good point you brought up. It's just like, do I want to have this downside?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I was just basically like, nah, I don't wanna have a case where like my center split is so good. Then I watch back the clip, it's like, oh, just my edges were like I don't know what I was doing during edges. Yeah. So I never competed officially with Redux, I think. I'm pretty sure when I first started big cubes, I was already using Yao. Yeah. So
Cool.
like right now, I would say my standard deviation for results is, I think, a little lower than other top solvers. I'm not too sure, honestly. But if that's a result of the method, then I mean, it's a result of the method. But I'm not really sure whether my SD is lower. Like visually, it does look a little lower.
Yeah, I'm looking at your profile for 7. Like you have the 142, the recent one, but
Oh
then
yeah,
like
yeah.
151, 147, 148, 150, 152, 148, 150. Lim 7, 141, 140, 147, 150, 145, 141, 145. Yeah, he jumps between like 150s and then like
Yeah.
mid 140, low 140, high one. Yeah, just visually, you're right. His looks a little bit higher, albeit lower on average. Max is a consistency machine, like low
Oh yeah,
140s, high
yeah.
130s, super consistently. Oh, also, I forgot to mention this, but like Max lives 15 minutes away from me, and so I've watched him
Oh.
solve a lot. And like when I first got into big cubes, Max was like my only comparison point for what a fast solver looked like. And I was like, I'm never going to be good at big cubes. Max turns like an alien. Like he's so, his turning is so like strong. Each flick
Yeah.
looks really, really purposeful and aggressive. And then I started watching other people and I was like, oh, their turning looks human. Like they're fast, but they make mistakes and it looks different. Your turning is the first turning where I've watched it and I've been like, I could turn like that. Like it's so fluid and so smooth. Like I could see myself getting there over the next 3 or 4 years. So I don't know if that's a backhanded compliment or if that's just me saying you're the only
That's
person I
really
feel like I
nice.
could
Yeah.
somewhat emulate.
No, it's a
Anyway,
compliment
let's
when
see.
people say I'm fluid, because
It's
that
yeah,
that was what that was like my weakness when I was getting good, was just like being
yeah.
able to turn consistently, because I just kept like spamming then stop turning, spamming then stop turning. Yeah. So hearing you say that I'm fluid is like genuinely a compliment. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, at least from the YouTube videos that I've seen.
Yeah, I think that's consistent for all my official solves. Like I do turn like that most of the time, officially now.
Cool.
Yeah. And I've seen some of your solves, like not really for bigs. I haven't seen much of your big cube solving, but for 3x3, I can see that like you're definitely gonna turn the way that I turn for bigs. Like my turning on bigs is like how your 3x3 turning looks.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. Like, I don't
I
know if
have
that's
a
a good
few
thing or
solves
bad.
up on my second channel.
Yeah.
I put up the means, the 5 and the 7 averages that I got back in like March in competition. I'll have
Yeah.
more solves to put up after Westerns. But what do you think of hardware right now for 5 through 7? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you wish would get better? And what are you using? And how do you have them set up?
Okay. I'll go one event at a time, just to make sure I don't forget the questions. For 5, like my 5 cube right now is like, I don't really practice 5 much, just because I don't enjoy turning the cube. Because what I found is that the Ultron V6, the dual track, like it's extremely good for maybe 15 solves. Then after that, it just dies. Like I don't know if you've had this experience, but like the magnets just become like the layers, the inner layer becomes like extremely hard to turn. Like
I've had this experience. I'm on my second one, and
yes,
mine it wasn't 15. It was like a couple hundred, and then it just like goes off a cliff.
Oh yeah, it's like, so I also made a deliberate decision that I don't want to compete with this. So I've been trying again, but I still don't have a great setup for it. The cubicle is sending me some stuff, so
Cool.
I hope those will be good. I think that in general, my view of the hardware now is like V6 can be good if you get the good setup for it. I think it's better than just as good as the GAN if you get a good setup. But if you have a setup where it's like it's hard to start turns, and like you have to put a lot of force into it in order just to get one layer turning, then I don't think
Yep.
V6 is perfect. But on the other hand, we've kind of reached a weird spot where the top 5x5 cube, or one of the top 5x5, which is the GAN, is bigger than the best 7x7.
Yeah.
It's like I can deal with it sometimes, but sometimes it does throw me off. Like when I put my finger somewhere, it's like, oh, the cube is not turning as well as it would on the V6, just because this is not where my hand is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for 5 hardware in general, it's like, I think we just need a slightly smaller GAN. Maybe like 61.5 or 61. I think 61.2, 61 to 61.2 would be good. But I'm pretty sure that I'm going to change to GAN. Yeah. Unless I get
You explained like my struggle with the Ouchwang versus the GAN so well.
Oh, yeah.
Like
yeah.
I grinded like 2,000 solves it on my GAN, and I was approaching like a sub 1 average, and I just couldn't do it. And I switched to my Ouchwang, and I'd done like 4 solves on it and decided I didn't like it. And then after 20 solves, it kind of broke in, and it had like the really nice, fast, fluid feel a new Ouchwang has. And I got like a 58 average, and I was like, holy cow, this cube is so much better. And then I put 1,000 solves in on that, and then it got all like you said, the inner layers got really hard to start turns on, and it really inhibits your ability to just flow through a solve. And so I was like, well, dang it, now I have to use the GAN again because you can flow. But then I had a second Ouchwang, and I was like, wait, this is so much better than my current GAN setup. And now I'm like a few hundred solves in on that, and I'm back to going, the GAN kind of feels like, I don't know. I've gone back and forth, which that's the same thing I feel about the GAN 16 and the Ferrocore. Like I love the Ferrocore V2, but after like 1,000 solves, the magnets start to just become so strong that I want like the light fluid GAN feeling back. So I have like nearly the same feel that you do of the 5s now.
I think I wouldn't say it's a universal experience just because I don't have enough of a sample size. But of the people I've talked to, I think that's a common struggle with the V6. It's just like basically the problem that we mentioned. Yeah. So I hope Moyu, Chi-E, or GAN releases something new soon. I don't think GAN will, just because they are much more focused on 3. Chi-E,
No shot.
there's a short Chi-E makes one, but no, this is not based on like insider info. It's just based on like their last 5 came out 3 years ago. 3 years? 2 years?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
It's
but
3.
It was
it's
basically,
like 3
it
years
wasn't
ago now.
that recent. Yeah. The Hong.
Or it might be 2. Oh yeah, the Hong. That's right. That was that really 23? Maybe it was.
I'm pretty sure it's 24. Yeah. Like early 24. Because I remember using it at one comp that was in early 24.
Yes, I remember March of 24 was the first time I tried it, or it might have been April.
Yeah. So like that cube was a bit of an interesting cube. Like it wasn't good until you like I did a spring, like I compressed the springs on it to get it a little faster. But I'm pretty sure they would want to release something that doesn't require the solver to do that. Just because it's a bit of a hassle to get to like if I have to compress the springs every time I get a new one, it's like a little troublesome. And it risks the tensions becoming off. So I really hope GAN, Chi-E, or Moyu just releases something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't used much of the Ouchwang SE. And honestly, I don't really know the difference. Is it the spring? The spring and the magnet should be the difference, right? Just like the 6 and 7.
Yeah.
If that is the difference, then I don't know, I might get one. But if not, I'll just stick to my Ouchwang for now until the Cubicles GAN arrives. Then I'll try to swap to it. Now moving on to 6. Right now I'm using the Aoshi V4 SE. Like I have 2 cubes right now, like on my desk. It's like these are different cubes. This one's the WRM. Oh, this is the WRM and the V4.
Yep.
So like the V4 SE, I got it like maybe 2 weeks ago. And I found it to be really good. like the inner layer magnets were a little strong for me, but I still like the speed and the control and everything.
The inner layers on the SE were too strong?
The third layer was pretty strong.
So what do you think of the third layers on the stock version?
It's a little, I think that I like that third layer. I don't know if this is a common opinion.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, okay, wait, actually now that I'm turning the SE more, I think this is better. Because I haven't used a stock V4 in a while. So I just forgot what it feels like. But I think when you loop the
Nice.
when you loop the SE properly, I think it's the inner layer is the correct strength. Like it really just allows for better fluidity, which is like a lot of my solving philosophy just comes down to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Better fluidity, lower standard deviation. Then I find that really allows me to like narrow down my weaknesses and my strengths. Because it's like, if I get like a 105 mean or something, which hasn't happened yet, but if I were to get that on a cube that has a higher standard deviation for me, then it's like, am I good? Am I bad? I don't know. But it's like, if I consistently get 111s or 112s on the SE, and it's like, okay, I know that like, I need to get faster now because I'm not at the speed I want to be at. Does that make sense? I'm not sure.
It does.
Yeah. So now moving on to the
Well,
like
real
the
quick,
IQ.
what
Yeah.
is it about the V6 versus the WRM that makes you want to use it? I
The
feel like
V4.
the V4, yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
the V4 versus the WRM. I feel like there were not really any perceivable problems with the WRM when we didn't have alternatives to it. And then when we got this, all of a sudden, it's like hard to use the WRM now because this is like smaller and faster and stuff.
Yeah.
But you notice those inner layer choppiness problems that the other one
Yeah.
didn't have. But like you can't switch back. Henry Lickner was the first one who kind of explained this thinking to me, and I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of what I've thought, but I haven't like articulated it like that. Why do you use the V4 over the WRM?
Oh, I don't really use it like this WRM here. This is the Ethan Troll one.
Yes.
So I'm half between the two. I can use both, in my opinion. Like I know that's a bit of a weird one because they're different sizes, but I think I can adapt somewhat well to different cubes. Like the sizes. On 6 and 7, I can adapt like all right. On 5, it's a bit different, but I think on 6 is okay. So I use the WRM and the V4 just as I feel like it. I would say I'm more on the V4, just a bit. But the reason is just, I think, actually I'm not sure because my solving has changed from the WRM to the V4. So I can't do a direct comparison.
Gotcha.
Like
That's a fair answer.
when I was only using the WRM, I think my setup on it was such that like I got a kind of a sticky setup. But then on the V4, I'm using a dry setup. So when it's drier, it's like, I guess naturally it's just a bit faster. Like at least the setup I have it on, the V4 is faster. So it makes it easier to practice. And also makes it easier to turn, both officially and at home. And I'm trying to stay more towards faster cubes. Or not faster cubes, just cubes that aren't stupidly slow. Because I used to use cubes that were extremely slow. And like in competition, like my hands just get burnt out after a few minutes of warm up. Because the cube was just so hard to turn.
Yeah. Same experience.
So-
Okay, so 7, I'm curious
Yes.
about this because 5 and 6, I feel like it's pretty clear, like one puzzle, maybe 2, but it's like pretty good overall.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh,
so yeah.
actually, before we talk about 7, have you
Yeah.
tried any of the GAN 6x6 prototype?
I tried one from Anu Jam in Singapore. Like, yeah, he's a good friend of mine. Like former Asian record and stuff. And he let me try one, but it was a pretty early one. I found it like I didn't find it horrible. I just found it a little big. And like I found it not refined. Like I knew they could do better. Like it was a little bit
Yeah.
I can't remember much. but I just remember it like being a bit disappointing, a little.
Oh yeah,
But that
I
was a
tried
very
one
early.
last weekend.
Yeah,
It was bad. Like it was really bad.
yeah,
Like I watched Nam do his video with it, and I was like, oh, this looks really
yeah,
promising. And Kate
yeah.
Graham let me try hers, and the magnets were so strong, and it felt like it caught, like, and it just didn't reverse corner cut. Like you would
Oh,
misalign it by the tiniest amount, and it just would not reverse. So it felt really blocky with strong magnets, but also no corner cutting. So if you tried to fight it at all, you just got destroyed. So I was not impressed. But like you said, it felt like there was potential and they could do better. We just
yeah,
hope that they go the way they did with the 5x5 and not the way they did with the 4x4, where they actually release something that people want to use.
yeah, yeah. It might have been her setup. I'm not sure because I haven't tried hers. But in my experience, yeah,
Mm.
the GAN isn't that good. I wouldn't use it for now until they get until they make big improvements and they take the feedback from who they send it to. I think
Yep.
then maybe, but honestly, I think like I hope the next step for big cubes is less about having like one like super good cube and you just have to use the magnet strength, the spring and all that. Like whatever comes stock. And I hope it becomes like the GAN X where like you can adjust the magnets. I know that's a far-fetched idea, but I think it'll be really cool to be able to adjust the magnet strength because it shouldn't be too hard to
Yeah.
implement. It's just use the GAN X like technology and just put it into a 6. I don't think it'll be that hard. But I'm not an
Yeah.
engineer, so
In
I'm not
theory,
sure.
like that should happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And
7x7.
yeah. So I think there are 4 good ones right now, right? 3. The WRM, the Warrior. If you want to count the Meilong, I mean, I can see why people will count the Meilong, but right now not
Yeah.
really. Not anymore. I used to use the Meilong for a few of my records. But right now I'm using the V5. I'm using the SE. Um I just really found that the V5, the like it has a problem of misaligning layers. As in like when you do a like 2-layer turn, sometimes the 3rd layer can turn as well. Like if you don't get the right setup and the right loops for it. But then I
Yep.
found on the SC that's just less of an issue because the 3rd layer magnets are the correct, like
I
the
need
best
to get
tune.
one of those
Yeah.
because that is my biggest problem with it.
The
Get
V5 SE,
an
I think
S.
it's much more of a necessity than the V4 SE. The V4 the V4 SE is like it kind of has this issue where some of the layers feel different from each other. Like some of the sides just feel different. Like I'm not sure if you've had this experience, but like when I turn one layer, I don't know if you can hear it, but like some of the layers feel like they're rubbing against the plastic much more than the others. It just has a bit of a weird like friction feeling. It might just be a
I think
quality.
I
I'm
know what
pretty
you
sure that's a
mean.
quality control thing. Yeah, so I'm using the SE. I was using the UVV5, like just the triple track UVV5
Yep.
for a while. But then I found, yeah, it had that issue that I talked about. Warrior, I haven't had much of official experience with it. I pretty much assumed that no top solver was going to use the Warrior. Just because I found the Moyu has like less of a cheaper feeling, if you get what I mean. Like
Agreed.
the Warrior does
Yes.
feel like the plastic is a little bit of a lower quality. Now, and that might make it like less motivating to practice or something, which is also a factor to consider. Because if you like the cube, you practice more, and if you practice more, most of the time you get faster, unless you're over practicing, of course. But yeah, so I just prefer the V5 over the Warrior for now, until I get a good setup on the Warrior. Yeah, the yeah, I think that's it for 7 hardware, unless there's something I'm missing.
Sure. I mean, I need to try the SE then because I
Yeah,
have literally like every other. So I haven't gotten an SE, but I have every other major one, and I don't like any of it. The Warrior, it feels cheap, like you said. It feels a little bit locky, It makes it hard to flow. I know Mark Zimmerman actually was maining it for a while. I think he got one of his really fast means on it officially. The PyCube triple track V5 feels like over-engineered to me. Like it feels like unflexible. Like you try and turn fast on it, and it kind of like fights back. Is how it feels to me. The stock triple track has like it feels flexible. Like you can misalign all the layers quite a bit. Just like it kind of bends in your hands a lot. So I've found that it's hard to be as relaxed with my turning versus like a 6 or a 5 because I have to constantly fight to keep the cube in cube shape, which is one of the reasons like I haven't practiced much 7 lately because like I literally like my neck and upper back will get sore because I'm like so tense just trying to like solidify it. All the mini ones, the mini 7x7s, like the Diansheng one and stuff, like none of those are even really worth using. And the Meilong is really fast and really light and really nice.
Yeah.
But I haven't found one that like is both light, fast, and also fluid. Like the LBL Designs one is really light and fast, but it doesn't corner cut well. And the ones that are Ethan Cho version are really fluid, but they're like heavy enough that I can't really like relax as I turn. And for me, being relaxed is what makes me fluid. Like you talk about fluidity, I think like relax.
Yeah.
And I just
Makes
can't
sense,
do it on the Ethan version of the Meilong. So like, I don't know. I want new 7 is the one that I'm the most interested in. But it sounds like I'm going to have to get one of the SE V5s and see how that is.
I think if you
do you
get
do
the
matte
SE,
or UV?
I used to use UV. Like I'm somewhat flexible between the two. I can use UV, I can use matte. I don't know whether this is important, but like my ASR was on the UV cube. So because of that, I was just kind of using UV for a while because like, why would I didn't want to change something that worked so well. But then when I used the matte one, it was like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like basically like the outside becomes less wet because sometimes the scrambler's hands may be a little sweaty or something. Then there's a higher chance of something going wrong for UV. But on matte, it's like it pretty much feels the same a lot of the time. Then like I like when the matte cube, like you break it in, you do more solves, and then it becomes a little less matte. I think that's the best. Yeah. Yeah, that's it for hardware, I think. Unless there's something else.
Nope, that's it. Those are great thoughts. I'm going to get I'll have to get the, have you tried the Cubicles Enhanced SE one, or are you using the PyCube Double Track SE? Because I'm looking on the Cubicle. They've got a Double Track SE and they've got a Triple Track SE. But the Triple Track one is a like Cubicle Special Edition one, and the Double Track one is a PyCube one.
I'm using the PyCube one because PyCube sent me some stuff.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
It was a dual track one. So I haven't tried the triple track, but I'll probably get Freddie to send some.
Okay.
If I remember. So triple track SE for V4, V5? Which one?
I'm looking at the 6x6. The V4.
Yeah. Okay.
Cubicle has an enhanced special edition 6x6.
I'm looking to try those. And also some of their setups. So Angstrom, FZ. I haven't really used them much just because Cubicles in North America and in Singapore is pretty far. It's pretty expensive to ship. So I think that plays a role into the cubes that people use.
Because I see. That makes
less
sense.
Economical to get from the Cubicle compared to PyCube.
Something I will... So yeah, with those setups that you just named, Angstrom is really interesting because the lube actually like changes pretty substantially over the course of a day, like how many solves you put in a day. Like it thickens up if you're not turning much, and the more solving you do, you can feel it thin out over a multi-hour session. So Timon mentioned on a podcast he did that he handed an Angstrom cube to Theodore, and immediately Theodore was like, I couldn't use this, because he could tell that the lube would change over the course of a day. That's not a problem for everybody, but like it's moderately noticeable if you care about consistency and you keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Angstrom is extremely soft, but it takes breaking to get there. FZ is super light, super fast. Like I really like FZ setup, but it feels like it has a short shelf life. It doesn't last like a good angstrom setup. Like if you get angstrom in the cube in the right quantity and you break it in properly, that thing is going to be good for a long time. FZ is good after just a few solves, and it feels much more like clean. But it's much more limited in how long it lasts. So yeah, I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on cubicle setups.
I'll probably make a video or two about the angstrom. Freddie said he was gonna send me 4 and 6 angstrom, then 5 and 7 FZ. So I'll try those and
Cool.
maybe do a
Yeah,
comparison.
definitely.
But I'll just film
Definitely
some
make a
of the
video.
Yeah.
You're extremely articulate about what you think about big cube hardware, and like there are very few people, if any, who make good explanations on what big cube hardware is good or bad. And I could make those videos, but I'm not really like qualified because I'm not nearly as fast as you. But like I'm really enjoying just listening to your thoughts. You're explaining things really well. You're making me think about what I think. So I think that'd be really valuable. Definitely make those if you can.
Okay. Yeah, but the main thing is like I have like school, and then on the weekends I tend to be a little busy. So like
Sure.
honestly, sometimes like in the week I may not even cube that much, but it's like during like school breaks. So like I have one coming soon. It's like a month long. That is when I'll really like dial in cubing. And like coincidentally, like there's big cube comms every week in Singapore in June, I think. Yeah, so I'll be doing much more cubing. If the cubes come by then, I'll make the video. But it may
Cool.
just be like I'll write it in the description rather than edit the video, just because like, I don't want to say I'm lazy, but I mean,
You don't
I'm
need to
kind
edit
of.
it, man. I don't edit my long talking videos,
Oh,
and you like them, right? I just
yeah,
sit
yeah.
there and I talk, and this isn't going to be edited, and what you explained is going to be great. Like I would love to just hear you explain it. I don't know. You could do the description thing, but I really think if you just like set the cube there, or you set a camera to your face and you just talked, it would still be great. But no, like no pressure. It's your video,
Oh,
but
yeah, yeah.
I would watch it if you put it out.
Okay.